far from your first time of watching a senior class go out in their last home game, what do you typically tell seniors about heading into a game like this?
Well, get your emotions in check and go enjoy it. I mean, it's these kids have done a lot for the program, the school, the community, and and you tell the younger guys, you're playing for those guys to make sure you send them off, their last regular season home game. Make sure you're sending them off the right way.
Well, the importance of ending the regular season with 2 straight wins, what's that do for, mindset and then getting ready for next year?
Well, I mean, you got to go. The next up is, our next opportunity. You go win and see what happens, and try to play the best football game you can.
How do you think Hunter looked in his first game back after watching?
I thought he got more comfortable as the game went on. I thought he played well. In hindsight, we kind of gave him probably the first play he had a post open, but gosh, he hasn't played in weeks, and we gave him he had a deep ball that he normally would have thrown, but I think he was probably thinking, what are they, crazy? But I thought Hunter played well, and it was good to see him back out there. I mean, he's obviously a different, makes a difference. His experience, his decisive. He played well.
Can you talk about Justin Spencer's impact on this program? I think this week Trevor said this will be his 50th consecutive start. So I would assume that's a rarity even for as much football as you've seen.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a pretty special guy and a good player. I mean he's had a heck of a career, and he's fought through like any offensive lineman. He said, I mean that many starts in a row. It's not like he's done that. He's felt good every week. I mean he's had some injuries and some nagging things, and he fights through it and finds a way. And give him a lot of credit. I mean he's a tough kid, really committed to the team, and I mean a really good leader. I mean he's an example for a lot of young guys that to follow. The type of kid you point to.
Hunter introduced Justin coming in here as Jim Thomas. Do you kind of hold Justin in kind of similar esteem?
Yeah, I mean he's been a big part of the program for a number of years now, and he's I just think the world of the kid. I mean he's going to be successful, and no matter what he does. I mean he's a pretty special guy. I mean just his everyday approach. He's accountable. He's disciplined. He's the total package. He's been pretty consistent football player for us.
You got Justice Reed back Saturday. Obviously, a big impact there.
Yeah. I mean, he's a dynamic pass rusher, and it's something. I mean, you put him in there, he's a difference maker, and he's going to make things happen. And I mean, that's been a big loss for us. He hasn't played about a month, so. It was nice to see him back there, and obviously he made a huge play in the game.
Is this the most healthy you've been? Is that fair?
We're getting there. It's just been one of those weird things. I mean, everybody goes through injuries. It's just been, we've had them at some key positions, and it's hard. You feel you start building some continuity, and then you get. It's weird. You kind of get them in certain spots. Obviously, the quarterback position for us, the offensive line, and the defensive backfield. And you throw in there Justice Reed, and it's been a lot of different lineups. I'll put it that way. I mean, in really in all phases of the game. And the other part of that is we played really well. Coach Stoops has done a good job with the special teams, but all those injuries affect your special teams a lot. And it's just I think we're getting some guys back. I mean, I think some guys this week have a chance to play that haven't been available. So we'll see.
How do you think the secondary played? I think DJ in there for one of the first times.
DJ was a player of the game. In some ways, he played really well and made some really good plays on the ball, especially late in the game. And you play that type of offense, and your secondary is going to be hung out to dry a little bit. You know, you're going to have to win some one-on-ones, and for the most part, we won them. And you know, it's just a different type of offense. It's hard to get, you know, it's hard to get help to your guys consistently and be able to handle, excuse me, all the things you're going to get in the run game as far as the quarterback's concerned. So it puts pressure on your DBs, and our guys answered the bell.
Because it's been a topsy-turvy regular season for you, Coach. When you think of 2017, the regular season, what comes to mind for you? How would you describe it?
I'll let you know after Saturday. We'll see. You know, you know, I for the most part, you know, we've played well. You know, our kids have fought. You know, we lost some heartbreakers. I mean, heck, 2 overtime games and 2 games on, you know, 1 game on the last second field goal and 1 on 1, you know, another 1 possession game. I mean, you know, it's part of the game. You know, it's we you know, like, and you know that on top of that, you know, the amount of guys we've had out. You know, our kids have fought pretty hard and stayed together. And like I said, I think that they'll be ready to go on Saturday. And I'm not one that gets I don't I look at it a different way. You know, day to day and week to week, and you know, I'll reflect back on it at another time when the time's right to figure out, you know, where it goes from here.
This is obviously a very different Missouri State team from the one you handled fairly easily last year. How is the team different, and how will that make your job different?
Well, they've grown, they've gotten better. You know, their offense is putting up some numbers and moving the ball on people, and defensively they've improved. They're one of the more improved football teams, I think, probably out there. And you know, you gotta, you know, hopefully our guys, you know, you got to forget about what happened there last year. I mean, at the end of it was the last game of the year, like it was this year, and a lot of things went our way, and it just a snowball rolled on those guys. But I would expect they remember it too, and so I expect a tough game on Saturday.
Offensively, biggest challenge they pose?
You know, they spread you out, they really formation you, motion you. I think they you know, a lot of run pass options for their quarterback, and you know, they're going to run their quarterback some. They're going to you know, they're going to try to get you in position where you have run pass conflicts and create one-on-ones for their guys on the outside. And if you try to take away those one-on-ones, they're going to try to run the ball with their quarterback and you know, and try to get you up inside. So you know, you got to play a little bit of cat and mouse with an offense like this and keep them guessing, and they're going to try to keep us guessing. And you know, we'll see. You know, they always have a couple formations of the day, things that they're going to do that are a little bit different. That you're going to probably see a number of trick plays and that type of thing. I mean, they're a very they're all over the place on offense. Where I mean, they have their base offense, but then they're going to do some creative things off of it. So you got to be on your toes against a group like this.
It's your earliest game. It's a noon game, so does that change anything psychologically at all?
No, just thinking that maybe I'll make mass after the game. But to be honest with you, I didn't even know until you said that. I had no idea it was a noon game.
Really?
Really? Does that surprise you, Dana?
So what, did like people wake you up when it's time to go play a game? Or?
No, I would have known. I just wouldn't have known till Thursday or Friday. Doesn't affect me on Tuesday.
That light moment, though. Hunter and Ricky, can we see them on the field at the same time, or you?
Possibly. I think you're going to see both of them on Saturday. They'll both play. Heck, you might see. You know, you never know. I might suit up, Dana.
They've been playing much better defense, Missouri State has. They had a really pretty good game against Northern Iowa. What makes that unit so much better? I know they got a guy that's just named the something like that. That's two really good games in a row. Linebacker.
Yeah, they're playing better. They're sound. I think their understandings, but they just I think they're tackling better. They're just they're fitting a lot better. I mean, fitting a run and being where they're supposed to be, and they're much improved. And they find their ways to, even when people move the football on them. I think Northern Iowa, they moved the ball decently against them, especially in the first half, but. They're able, what a good defense does. They held them to field goals, a lot of the time, and they found a way to get off the field. And, Coach Steckel, he's a defensive guy. He's done a nice job for a lot of years, and they know what they're doing. And I think their group is improving. They're just, week by week.
Ricky and Hunter had a pretty big impact on this program over the years. How would you kind of reflect on those two and how they, what they've done over?
I think both of them have been through a lot. I mean, personally, on the field, off the field. You play the quarterback position, and obviously only one of those guys can play at a time, and that's not easy to handle. And most of these guys come, and they're used to being the guy, and then you find yourself, sometimes you're not only dealing with that aspect of it, but having to deal with injuries and and growing as a player, which isn't easy, and dealing with their head coach, which isn't easy, and there's a lot of aspects to it. But that's part of what this experience is all about. We all know that most of these guys are, percentage-wise, most guys aren't going to play in the NFL, so. It's part of their college experience, and all the different things they go through, both good and bad, are things that are going to allow them to handle the things that are coming in their life. And that's part of that's the number one thing that you get out of it. I try to, my son was thinking about where he was going to go play, and, you sit him down and you say, hey, there's a big picture here, a lot bigger picture than the football aspect of it, and what do you want to get out of it, and where do you see yourself 4 or 5, 6 years down the road? And what is going to prepare you to be able to answer the bell when that time comes? And I think all these experience that these kids have make them that more ready to go out into the world and handle all the things that the competition that's out there, because we all know that there's a tremendous amount of competition out there no matter what field you go into.